look at him as a captain, because he's a true captain, you know, in every sense of the word, what it should be, looking out after the other boys, team morale, giving it 110%, getting stuck in, everything you want as a captain. So I can't see a better person for that role.
So you are the brand new club captain of the Sheffield Tigers. How did you feel when you got that call?
Yeah, delighted, mate. Spoke to Damien towards the end of last year. He touched base on it and sort of finalised it with Steady the other day. So, yeah, to be working alongside them again and then sort of being on a bit of the intercom, I suppose, for the boys, it's great, and I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, when you think of some of the other names involved in the team as well, it is quite a proud moment for you to get the nod over a couple of those other boys, perhaps.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. It's just the fact is that you got, you know, the big names of Kyle Howarth and Chris Holder, Jack Holder. They're all good mates as well. So at the end of the day, if I can take a bit of the heat sometimes when they need to focus on other things, then we all know that I can have a chat and I can interview as well. So yeah, just whatever the best outcome's going to be for the team, that's the most important thing. And captain or not captain, like my last couple of seasons, I've been quite vocal in the pits, and that's not going to change. It's just yeah, for me, it's obviously it's a label that needs to be spoken about. But however, as a personality of how I'm going to be, it's not going to change my direction in the pits at all. So yeah, we all got to get on good. Even with Kyle last year, everyone has a voice, and that's going to be the main focus as well.
Obviously, it's not a role that's entirely new to you, though, is it? You've had previous experience elsewhere.
Yeah, I was a captain at Edinburgh as well in 2023, so I'm aware of sort of what's going on, and I've worked closely with all the other boys over the years. So yeah, it's cool. It's definitely a nice thing to say that, yeah, you are the captain of such a great, prestigious team. So once it says that hopefully that Sheffield Tigers are the 2025 Premiership champions, then being a captain, that's going to be a good feeling then.
When you look at the Sheffield lineup for 2025 as well, obviously a lot of familiar faces, but when you look at it on paper, kind of almost split into two. You've got obviously yourself, Ty Woofin and Chris Holder, Jack Holder, but then the other end as well, some young Brits with some real promise as well. So it's going to be an interesting balance in the pits, particularly for yourself as captain, trying to work your way around the boys as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like Anders Rowe as well, and Daniel Hume is a lovely kid, and Leon Flint, like, he's a great character to have in the pits as well. I've rode a couple of meetings with him previously, and no, he's a big personality, and he brings a lot of animosity, and he's very uplifting. So I feel like the outfit that we currently have, it's there is plenty of different personalities, as I touched on, but I feel like they will all connect in some way, and hopefully we can all get on good and enjoy our race and enjoy being together and hopefully win plenty of races.
Obviously, 2025 campaign is just around the corner now. If we can, just let's look back on last year a little bit. Obviously, there was plenty to be proud of for Sheffield. Obviously, adding some more silverware with the Knockout Cup, the regular table toppers as well. But there was always that sense of what could have been as well because of how the season ended in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we lost one of our biggest hitters, early on in the season. I was a little bit hit and miss as the season started, but I was firing towards the end, which I'm taking that straight into this year with sort of knowing my equipment and knowing we're all good to go here. So I'm looking forward to that side of things. But yeah, it's just Speedway's a funny game at times, and you just got to make it as simple as possible sometimes. But as for the team and last year's performance, the way I sort of ended, winning the CLRC and then definitely doing my part for the Premiership side of things, it was a very good end of the season.
And you've touched upon your own performances towards the back end of 2024 as well. That must give you a lot of confidence going into 2025 because, like you say, a lot of talk is about this top three of Jack, Chris and Ty. But the way you ended last season, you must see yourself as a genuine heat leader in the Premiership now.
Oh, without a doubt. We've got 4 heat leaders. That's just how it is. We're very fortunate. There's plenty of other teams that are in a similar situation, but the realistic side of things is having Jack Holder and Ty Woofin in heat 13, and then you've got Chris Holder and Josh Pickering in, right in the engine room. I think you're going to have Anders probably he's going to be riding along with Jack at number 2, and then you're going to have Denyon and Leon at 6 and 7. So I feel like just with how it's all set out, Denyon's got a lot of experience. He's been around a long time, so maybe having a bit more age, a bit more, it's hard to say, but being around a bit, not new, not just going to be making his, he deserves to be in this team, and him being at number 6 and not as, a backup in number 2 or 4, then he's going to be a lot calmer, I feel, and Heat 2 is going to be definite for them boys to hopefully get a 5-1 everywhere we go, including home, and then if they can piece the puzzle together and get, between 5 to 7 points each, then that's sort of going to be the match one with us doing our part as well. So it is exciting, and I feel that hopefully Steady's going to have a bit more of an easier year and not having to worry about bringing riders out, putting reserve riders in, and then obviously when we had an injury, and we'll cover him for Ty also. So we're all doing 5 to 6 rides towards the end of the year, and I enjoyed it because things were going good. But at the same time, if we can just do our 4 scheduled rides and the best riders go in Heat 15, then we're all happy.
The majority of teams obviously go into every new season with hopes they'll make the playoffs and win the league. But do you think when you've been part of a club for a while, particularly with such a similar, familiar group of riders as well, particularly when it ended how Sheffield's did last year, do you think that extra motivation is still fresh in the mind perhaps? Yeah,
for sure. Well, winning 2023, how it ended last year wasn't ideal. Personally, as the playoff side of things approached, and then now first was meant to verse fourth, and how it all worked out, it didn't sort of work out in how I mentally prepared. I don't know if that affected any other rider in the team, but who went to verse in the semis of what I sort of pictured in my head. It did change the dynamics a little bit. Versing Bellevue, it was difficult. We know they were going to put up a tough ask, but at the end of the day, mate, we can only focus on what we can look at now. We don't worry about the past, winning or losing. You got to focus on the next race. So we're going to go into this season full of confidence, with us all rare and ready to go. Last year we didn't even get a chance to be on the track before our first match of the year. So all the boys were bedding our chains in at Oxford and starting our season like that, and only lost by bugger all there. So to get press day rolled around, I know everyone's going to be on the bike before then. Everyone's bike's going to be ready and rolling into our first match against Birmingham. I feel like we're going to be in a very good situation and hopefully continue that throughout the whole season.
I know one thing Simon Stead often says as well, as long as Sheffield focus on themselves, he's always got the belief that you'll come out on top on any occasion. But as captain and as a rider in the ROWE Motor Oil Premiership this year, when you look around the other teams in the league, just how do you assess the strength of the division?
You just touched on it then. If you worry about yourself, that's the most important thing. It's we're all very good motorcyclists now. We all can win races at any given time, at any place. It does come down to a mindset thing, in my opinion. And if you start worrying about someone else, then it's easy for them. So we just got to worry about ourselves, get dialed in. It don't matter who we verse. Everyone in the team, yes, they have some better riders. They have some riders that you can beat. But you just got to treat every race the same, stay in a routine, and then just not worry about who's under the other helmet. Because at the end of the day, if we're worried, they're also worrying about racing against me. So if we can just focus on looking after yourself, then we'll be in a better situation.
And the way the calendar, the schedule's worked as well, hopefully, as long as the weather behaves itself, it's a strong start at home for the Tigers as well, a run of home meetings before we get in on the road in May as well. So do you think that's a real opportunity to set the ground running and set an early tone?
Yep, for sure, mate. I think we done 4 away meetings before our first home match last year. So as long as we're winning, keep rolling the home matches in. That will be a great thing. But it's just a difficult time of year. That's since I got here, it was 2 degrees my first day. 3 days later, it's been 12 to 15 degrees, and then woke up this morning, it's absolutely Baltic again. So it's going to be the same rolling into Speedway season. We've had great weather at the moment, and then it'll probably go to shit. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there, and then assess it as it goes.
And just to round off your first interview as the club captain of the Sheffield Tigers, just to people who might not know, just give everyone a flavour of the club and how you feel that what the Tigers are about.
I'll put it this way, I bought a house in Doncaster, and I'm not planning on riding for anyone else as long as my career goes on. So I love Sheffield, the track, the fans, the promotion, the interviewer. He knows what he's doing as well. So everything that makes up Sheffield as a whole, in my opinion, it's just effortless. Like it's I've rode at other clubs where I feel like they try and make you, like, you know, they involve you in things that sometimes you don't need to be involved in. At the end of the day, we started riding motorbikes because we enjoyed it, and then as years gone on, we've gotten better at it. We obviously have winning mentality, and then now 7 of us all in the team are fortunate enough to call it our job. So if we can just focus on the riding side of things, and then, you know, given the fans a reason to come back week in, week out, then that's a win in itself. But I'm really hoping that we can collect some more silverware this year and hopefully have a great year.